What's happening, friends? Welcome to Unlocked. It's IGN's weekly Xbox show. Plenty to talk about here in the heart of Q4. Red Dead Redemption 2 is out and is off to a red-hot start. We'll talk all about that, what we're thinking of it, and a lot more. Plus, some news on Xbox Game Pass. It is going to be available to a lot more people pretty soon. News on when you can play Battlefield 5's Battle Royale mode. It is coming maybe a little later than you might have guessed. All that and a lot more. A reminder, you can see us early here on IGN, unlocked.ign.com to be exact, every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. Catch us on YouTube, podcast services, everywhere else on Wednesday, our sort of usual day, Wednesday afternoon. So, Ryan McCaffrey here, Destin Legary.
Bam! Hi, Internet.
Whoa, charged up.
I'm trying something new.
That's your new opener? That's your new go-to?
Yeah, it works in audio and video
Can you
form.
do it again?
Bam! Hi, Internet.
Okay, we'll give it a try. Brandon Tyrell, good luck following that.
I'm going to give you 50% Destin.
All right.
Bam.
And Miranda Sanchez.
Hello, I've returned from the Wild West.
Hi. Welcome back.
Where does
took
that
off
land on
my,
the Bama-meter?
I don't know. I'm not even going to try.
Yeah.
They both have coffee. I had my coffee hours ago.
I can't summon that energy yet. No. I've taken off my cowboy hat, put away my boots, put on a cute skirt. Here now, we're gonna talk about that good time in those Wild West adventures, though.
That is certainly the topic of the week, as it should be. We've been waiting so long for this video game, and it's finally here. And so I'll start with the fact that it's off to an enormous start, which is totally expected. Rockstar doing what all companies do, spinning things a little bit to make it look good. Because what's funny, though, is they're spinning it to make it look good versus themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you remember,
it's like they're competing with themselves.
GTA 5 did $1 billion worth of revenue in 3 days. Well, Red Dead Redemption 2 only got to $725 million, but they're nevertheless calling it the biggest opening weekend in entertainment history because GTA 5 came out on a Tuesday, and it did its $1 billion during the regular Monday through Friday week. But nevertheless, huge numbers here. The biggest entertainment launch period of 2018, so that includes film or anything else.
Wow, bigger than Infinity War. That's nuts.
Yeah, that is wild. We don't have a number yet on the actual number of copies sold, but I'm sure as they hit big milestones, they're not going to be shy about sharing them. Whether it's 10 million, 20 million.
I bet they're big numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what.
Zeros,
725.
A lot.
Yeah, you can try to do the math. I mean, there were some expensive collector's editions of Red Dead that helped build that $725 million number up. But nevertheless, yeah, it's.
But a few of those
doing really
collector's
well.
editions didn't actually come with the game, so.
I think they might still count though, right?
I don't know.
I would presume.
I don't know how that
true.
works. I don't know if
Doesn't
it counts
matter.
toward game
It's fine.
sales or just overall profit.
Point is, we
This
gave the
game's
game.
big.
Yeah, we gave it a
Anyway.
10 out of 10, which doesn't mean perfect. It means masterpiece. The rest of the industry largely agreeing. Critics, the Metacritic average is sitting at 97, tying it for the highest all time with GTA 5.
Oh, really?
I think Zelda Ocarina of Time, or maybe Breath of the Wild was right there too. But yeah, it's been received very well.
Yeah. I have to say, though, if you're one of the people out there not enjoying it, I do understand why. And I think it's the pacing is slow. But even for me, it was a little slow getting into it. But once you sort of accept, I get what Rockstar is going for. They want you to be totally immersed in this world. And then get into it. You're like, oh, okay, I get it. I like this.
I think toward the end of the first chapter, I started falling asleep.
Yep.
Like, actually, I think because we had been working so hard, and I was holding my controller, and I was just, like, almost nodding off when you're finally getting out of that first chapter. But after that never happens again. So it's just, if that was something that threw you off at the beginning,
Yeah,
not.
I had the same experience. Not the falling asleep part,
Yeah.
thankfully. But it's
been a tough few weeks.
it is a very
It ramps up.
It's a very deliberate opening, and I see I'm not a game designer, but I see why they made the choices they made. I could see how it's in GTA games before 5. I think from 4 back, you just got thrown into the
the
open world straight up. Like GTA 3 was the last where you could only go in that first sort of third, and then the other sections of the world opened up the more you progressed in the story. But yeah, like I could see how specifically in this world, in the Red Dead Redemption 2 world, just straight throwing you into the whole thing could be extraordinarily overwhelming. So.
Like this trailer is all action and events and dialogue, but a lot of it's slow. It's riding your horse to the next location and, you know, hopefully using cinematic mode and enjoying the beautiful vistas that they have on display.
Yeah.
And by the way, I played through the whole game in 4K on an X. Looks gorgeous. Looks amazing on the Xbox. Digital Foundry did their analysis. Definitely the
Clear
X
winner.
is the best platform to be playing this game on. Good win for Xbox.
Brian Altano, one of our awesome hosts,
yeah.
who he's on NBC. He co-hosts Up at Noon with Max Scoville. He and I streamed Red Dead on my Xbox One X, the day the review hit, which was the day before the game came out. And he, by the end of it, he was like, I think he said it on the air and then to me privately. He said, I think I might just throw out the 10 hours I've done on PS4 and switch to the X.
Yeah.
And then he went out and did it. He went
did?
out and
That's
bought
cool.
an X.
He went
that
out and bought an
weekend.
Xbox One X, and he did it with that cool deal where you can, what is it? The bundle for RDR2 is $100 off.
It's a ridiculous trade-in.
But if you trade in your original Xbox One, you get something like $200 credit. So you're essentially getting RDR2.
So they gave him $50 and all that stuff.
Almost.
I guess.
Basically.
Almost.
You're basically getting RDR2 and Xbox One X, and then whatever else comes in the bundle for like $200.
It's an amazing
something like that.
deal.
It's nuts.
What?
It's a really good deal. If you upgrade, even just for a console, you can turn in your old one and get
I
a
don't
huge
know how they're
discount.
still in business, the company, but that is
Yeah.
neither here nor there. I say that tongue in cheek.
Go to the store this
I had to start on PS4 because of how we were able to distribute the codes.
Yeah.
And I would just, as soon as you and I were able to do the thing we had to do, you have to do all this. You have to do this account.
Don't worry about
stuff.
it. Don't worry
How
about it.
cryptic.
Don't talk about
You
it.
have to do this
Let's,
account.
let's
It's
move
just
on.
complicated,
Anyway.
like account thing. Anyway, we set it up, and I'm like, oh, thank God I can play on Xbox, and I was in heaven.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And a lot of people are thinking, as a quick tangent, like, well, I already have an Xbox One. New consoles are already in development. We're going to see them soon. This is actually the time of the generation where the One X really sort of earns its money back.
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
We've talked about it before too, like how playing on like the original Xbox with some of these games is just you hear it chugging, like you hear it, it's struggling a little bit, it's trying its best, it's
Yeah.
a little hot. And yeah, it's definitely like worth that if you want to make sure your Xbox is doing okay. Also, just because it's gonna look better.
Well, always towards the end of the generation, games start pushing the limit of what the tech can do.
Look at GTA 5.
Yeah.
Red Dead with if you have the disc, it comes with 2 discs or something crazy like that.
That's every console. Yeah, it's 2 discs.
Crazy.
Did anybody here ever even consider getting a physical copy of this, or do you all go digital?
I have a 2 terabyte external hard drive,
Right?
so I'm happy
I
to
said
just be
whatever
digital.
I get from work.
Yeah. Okay. So
That was
work
the
actually we
choice.
got discs. Did you go with the
No, I
disc
didn't
or
get a disc. I got a code.
digital?
Yeah,
I
gotta
gotta
do
go
digital.
too, but I don't really buy physical media anymore.
I don't either. But it might be a San Francisco thing because we have no space
Right, I
here.
have no room to put
Yeah.
games discs
Yeah.
anymore.
It's less about that and more just like in that ecosystem. I mean, I get it. We're us 4 here are a very fringe case,
Sure.
right? I have a 1X at home, but I also have one at work, so I can buy something at home and then I don't have to think about taking the disc to work.
Right.
Right. You just
Everything
log
in.
everything
That is-
uploads. I come to
Having
work.
that library
I
is
keep going.
A weird, very important factor for me too, because it's just like, do I have to lug this console back and forth down to install it? Like that. That was my thing with Red Dead because it is so huge. I almost wish I had a disc, but
Oh, yeah.
it's fine.
Having just moved, I am so ready to get rid of so much stuff. I'm like, why do I have all of these?
I think I mainly just wanted a disc because the case looked so nice.
Okay, I get that. A lot of people do appreciate
Yeah,
that
that
too.
was it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to go into now. We can now finally talk about this video game.
Yeah.
And everybody's many people are playing it. We're playing it. So Miranda, I know you've been you're on the job with this game, trying to make the guide to help people as they run into things they're curious about. But how are you guys like? Tell me some stories from the frontier. Like, what have you guys been up to in this game?
Okay. Well, I mainlined the game. I mainlined the game. I played good, so I did not play evil. And some of my favorite missions involve some of the stuff we saw in the trailer with, I don't know her name, Braithwaite, I want to say, the old lady house. Do you know her name, Miranda?
I know what you're talking about, and that could be a spoiler.
As someone who's
Even
never
though it's in the
who
trailer.
hasn't played yet,
Okay.
tread
Well, there's
carefully, young
and-
sir.
any of the-
Lightly, yeah.
Any of the scenes that involve fire,
Yeah.
so there's a lot of things where you end up lighting stuff on fire, and just seeing the fire dynamics within this world and how like stuff will start catching on fire, and it happens in a few different missions where
There are a lot
I'll
of
just
hard
be in a
places.
fight and literally a house or something on the side will start on fire and burn down, and it's just kind of cool to see the world react naturally like that in the way the fire spreads.
Propagation. Fire
Yeah,
propagation.
fire propagation.
Like in Far Cry 2. As if Mitch Dyer were still here, he'd bring up Far Cry 2.
Like in
Yeah.
Far Cry 4 and 5.
The train robberies are phenomenal. Like those are really, really cool moments where you can like jump on a train and rob a train.
haven't gotten
like
to any of that stuff
beating people up and be like, give me your money faster. I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's
said you
playing
played the
good.
good guy.
I am playing good. A
Jeez.
random thing that happened. There was a train robbery in progress, and I walked up on it, and I'm like, "Nah, killed everybody." And then I think I killed a few innocent people on accident. Unfortunately,
I thought you said it was a
on
good playthrough.
accident, not on purpose.
Oh, that's fine. They'll understand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then I looted them, and
okay.
I was getting good cowboy points for the bad guys, but then I looted somebody who wasn't a evil
Wait,
cowboy.
is there a Paragon system?
Sort of, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even
The honor
even
system.
if you
I
loot
don't know if I like that.
bad guys, you still lose your good guy points.
But I got good cowboy points for looting the bad guys.
What?
I don't know. Yeah.
Every time I've killed someone who's tried to kill me and I loot them, they're like, no, you don't. And I'm just like, why? They tried to kill me.
No, bad cowboy.
Give me their money.
This is sounding more and more like Westworld.
I feel like I stole Miranda's thunder, though. Miranda, what have been your experiences in the game world?
Mine have been very strange because, like we said, that I'm working on the wiki, and this is to give you guys context. This is the first guide we've ever done where everyone on the wiki's team is working on one game. Like that's never happened in the history of IGN.
Yeah.
So it's just that massive, and because of that, we are all very segmented on what we're doing. So like my job is essentially scraping the map and getting all collectibles and like secrets.
Oh, like crawl into tight spaces.
Yeah.
and-
So it's just like I am.
Fun.
There's a point on the map. I'm going there.
Your character must look disgusting right now.
No, I get
I've been in
more
the
on
wilderness for 12 days,
that sometimes.
but look at all these animal
I
skulls.
keep him. Okay, actually, I have done a lot of hunting. I have not really played the story at all. I'm still in chapter 2 of like 5 or something, so I'm still super early on. I don't know the characters very well. I'm ignoring all their requests, and so it's really weird. Like the way I've approached this has been strange, but I'm really enjoying my time in it anyway. I really love how all the animals react. Like I guess I've spent a lot of time in these places and getting to know other people outside of the camp, and everyone's so mean. Like these farmers don't like you on their property.
The stable hands are pretty nice.
Yes, so
Yeah,
stable
they're
hands would
always
be nice
really
if you
cool.
find them.
Yeah.
But the actual farmers,
Oh, yeah.
so there are these things called cigarette cards, and
Yeah.
there are 144 of them throughout the
Oh, my
game.
God.
And you can get them from premium cigarette card packs, or you can find each individual card somewhere in the world. And I'm making sure we get all of them.
By
And so-
premium card pack, what does that mean?
So premium cigarette pack. So cigarette.
It's like collectible cards.
So there's just normal cigarette packs, but there's premium ones, and those
Oh,
premium
okay.
ones come with cigarette cards.
But this isn't
Anyway.
like a microtransaction thing.
No, this
Okay.
is a thing
When you
you
said
find-
premium, I was like, oh no,
No,
do I have to
no,
spend
these are the
doubloons?
good
or-
cigarettes.
Mhm.
It comes more, I think.
The
I don't
good
know.
cigarettes,
Yeah,
Miranda?
I'm
These are
guessing.
those.
I don't know. It's premium. And so I was trying to. I saw one, and so I was trying to get it on the farm, and then the farmer just like, get off my property! Like I'm warning you now.
Yeah.
And I'm
Get
just
off
like,
my land.
I got a shotgun.
I'm sorry, guys. I just like popped a cap in him, grabbed the card, and ran off.
I've never heard
It's like, you don't want
I've never
this
heard
fight.
you say popped a cap in him, and
had to.
I didn't realize I needed that in my life.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, my adventures have been really weird. I have a nice little hunting guide if you need one of those. I know a lot of secrets. I know the heartlands like the back of my hand. I can
Nice.
tell you where to find all the animals and where to find mint if you need it, or oregano, or yarrow. Yarrow is freaking everywhere in the heartlands. And
Where can someone go to find all that information?
You can go to ign.com/wiki/Red Dead Redemption 2, and there's a bunch of dashes between Red Dead Redemption 2.
Give us a tip on money. What is one of the most profitable items you can harvest?
So one of the most profitable things you will find in the world are gold bars, and there's one that you can find within the first.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the first like few minutes that you get into chapter 2, you can go find one, but we're holding off on talking about that now. Before we were like, you guys got to go sell this to get $500 immediately because it's really helpful. But we found that there's an exploit that you can get to get 30 gold bars potentially.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'm not going to say where it is just in case, so that way you can maybe exploit it to get very rich very fast.
Keep an eye on the wiki.
Yeah, so we are constantly updating. Like, seriously, please
Yeah,
check it
go
out.
there.
Like, it's been my life.
Well, I've been. I had said when the game came in, I was like, I'm gonna play Black Hat because I just would like to see how
Yeah.
the game reacts to that.
How has that gone, Ryan?
And so suddenly, Tina was like, "All right, do as much evil stuff as you can and record it all." I was like,
Oh,
"Okay,
no.
well, I guess now I have to." So I have done some dark things I'm not proud of. A guy. I was just riding my horse from one spot to another, and out in the middle of nowhere, a guy needed help. He was just off the path, and he was yelling for help, and he just said, "Sir, I'm completely turned around and lost. Could you just direct me to the town of Strawberry?" And well, I could, but I just told him to F off with the dismiss button, and then as he grumpily walked away, I took out my bow and arrow.
Oh, not
quietly,
even the gun.
not even the gun, and just put an arrow right in the back of his head and then looted his body. So it's that kind of thing that's going on
Do you have like crazy bounties on you?
in a couple places. Yeah, in a
So I'm
couple.
so curious because I'm not playing that way at all. Like, of course, I just be nice. So it's always nice to see how things change because like when you're
Yeah.
good, you get discounts at stores and stuff. And
How nice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you just hold up the stores and you get whatever you want.
I guess that's true. But I'm trying to do most of my despicable deeds without witnesses. So
Okay.
that
Smart.
there
That's
aren't
really
as many
hard.
consequences. Yeah. And then if there is a witness, I just chase them down and kill them and drag their body off the road.
So-
That's what I heard is like you can get into these situations where you get chain witnesses.
Yeah.
Where like
Yeah.
you kill someone and then you got to kill the witness and then someone sees that, so you got to kill that witness and
To
then
be fair,
And then you're covered in blood.
it's dark.
yeah, I also do that, but you also get covered in blood when you're hunting.
Oh, yeah.
Just so you know.
You definitely do. It gets all
Make sure you
like
have
when
your
you put
blood
the
right.
put the animal over your shoulder.
Yeah,
and the
Yeah.
blood all
kill
down.
some-
Skin it.
if you kill somebody like an animal and then
Yeah.
So I actually just murdered 3 people, and I
you
didn't get any
hoist
blood
them?
on me when I picked them up and put them over
okay.
behind some bushes, way farther away from the road, so nobody would investigate.
If we
No
could
witness.
isolate that clip completely out of context and then just post it on the internet so
Kill
no one
3
knows she's
people.
talking about a video game. No, yeah, I had one like legitimately like a mini jump scare the other day. If you'll know when you get there, if you do the Black Bell mission, which is you don't need any more context than that, but it's in a marshy swampland.
Ooh.
And by the time the mission was over, it was nighttime. So I'm riding out. It's pretty dark. There's some cool like moonlight, but it's just this marshy swampland. And I just riding my horse out of there, and there was a hanged corpse dangling from a tree, and I was like,
Oh.
"Whoa, that's weird." So I wanted to stop. And I was like, all right, maybe I guess can I cut him down, or maybe do I have to do just shoot him down like it's a movie?
Like the Robin Hood
You
arrow
can
through
shoot
the
them
rope.
down, yeah.
Yeah, and you can, by the way, totally shoot them down.
course you can.
So, but as I'm like about to get off my horse, I'm like next to the body, like looking at it. 3 guys just ambush me, and they're the I forget the Nightmen or some. They had like a
Oh, that's
weird
creepy.
little gang name.
Wait,
But
night KN or night N?
NITE.
Oh, okay.
Probably because they're all illiterate at this in 1899.
Got it.
But yeah, they just started running up, dragged me off my horse, and started stabbing me.
Oh my
Oh, God.
god.
So,
Is-
and then I learned that when you, so I got up, did the B button mash to get the guy off me, and then when I learned, didn't know this until this point, when you press trigger at point blank range with your gun in your hand, it just does a right gun to the temple, and you pull the trigger, and it's real gross.
There are a few story missions where people rush me, and I'd be like, bah! and then I always use a shotgun, so their head's just gone. It's just like pop.
Yeah. So I killed those
Very
guys.
gory.
It
and
is.
then I shot the hanged body down, and there was a note on him. That
God.
basically, yeah, it was crazy. So, yeah, that's the kind of weird stuff that just happens. In
Yeah.
this
like
game.
I say that environmental storytelling is phenomenal.
Yeah, there's a lot of great just like emergent events.
The only story that I have because I was watching John Ryan play,
Oh.
and John Ryan is just like a grizzly mountain man in that game. And
Got a long beard. I think
he-
almost the longest. I think he's one tick away.
really,
Yeah.
He's been using
I
the
100% believe that.
hair growth.
But I'm watching him when they were doing wiki work, and he was just like riding through the field, and he saw a wagon, and because John Ryan is history's greatest monster, he killed the dude in the wagon for no reason other than he was there, of course. And then I'm like, hey, what's in that wagon? So we're looking in the wagon. It's just a bunch of baskets full of onions. Like there's just an onion farmer just riding down the street, and JR was like, wait a minute. And then throws a Molotov cocktail or whatever it was in the back of the wagon.
Fire bottle.
Fire bottle, maybe.
Yeah.
Spooks the horses. The horses take off.
The
He
wagon's
gets-
on fire.
He gets back on his horse, and now we're just chasing this flaming wagon, this flaming onion wagon, down the road while the horses are freaking out, terrified. It eventually, all the onions spill out. The wagon breaks down, and it was just hilarious to be like chasing this thing through the countryside.
All right. Well, there's many more stories like that out there. Altano and I did some dark stuff in our live stream, which you can watch on YouTube or IGN, the archive of it. So go look at that. Go look at all of Miranda and the team's excellent wiki work. Destin's been working on video features, and
Yeah. And
it's
I
crazy out there.
I actually have to give Mark Medina a shout out. Mark's been
Yes.
doing
Mark's
most of
been
the
great.
feature work. I've been helping with wikis, doing the entire walkthrough. My features are going to start rolling out this week.
Fantastic.
Also, quick shout out if you guys have questions about Red Dead Redemption 2, please tweet at IGN Wikis because that's like our helpline. Also, that's where we just tweet goofy stuff. So if you have anything that you're having trouble with, like we can either direct you to the right page or we will hunt down the answer for you.
Excellent. Good stuff. All right. So, news-wise this week, while we're on the topic of Rockstar, an interesting quote from Rockstar co-founder Dan Houser, who says in an interview with GQ that they're glad to not be releasing GTA 6 right now. So let me give you the context for this. He says, quote, "It's really unclear what we would even do with GTA 6, let alone how upset people would get with whatever we did. Both intense liberal progression and intense conservatism are both very militant and very angry. It is scary, but it's also strange, and yet both of them seem occasionally to veer towards the absurd. It's hard to satirize for those reasons. Some of the stuff you see is straightforwardly beyond satire. It would be out of date within 2 minutes. Everything is changing so fast."
That's really true too. Right now, it's in at least the political landscape. No matter what beliefs you hold, like it's stranger than fiction.
See,
at times.
I respectfully disagree with Hauser on this because, and here's why. I'm going to give them a compliment. The Hausers and their writing team, as we look at some GTA 5, if you're watching us with us on video here, like that writing team, the Hausers and their crew, they have shown over the course of the entire Grand Theft Auto series, particularly the last few, but that they're very, very good at finding the humor within the times. And so I just think he's not giving himself and their team enough credit for the fact that I mean, yes, I do agree that reality is oftentimes funnier and stranger than fiction these days. But at the same time, the GTAs have been, they are satirical snapshots in time.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go back to GTA 4 now, like it's very much a the rise of the smartphone era and sort of everything around that and how the internet sort of changed culture and whatnot. And 5, I think, will in another few years will be looked at kind of back on the same way as sort of this pre where we are now kind of look. And whatever and whenever GTA 6 is, I'm sure it will do a great job of capturing the spirit of pop culture in that time too.
Mm-hmm. I get what he's saying. Like, I understand why he wouldn't want to be doing satire right now because it could be really divisive as opposed to like something everybody can sort of laugh about, like the way GTA 5 did.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, it's good that Red Dead's coming out right now because it takes place so far in the past, and maybe in a few years when hopefully things sort of calm down in the political space a little bit. It'll be easier for them to write and look back. Right, there's this comedian Norm Macdonald who I like a lot, who actually said that making fun of the stuff in the political sphere right now, it's just too easy, and everybody's doing it. Like all the comedians are doing it right now, and it's just low hanging fruit.
Right.
And I think Rockstar likes to dive more into satire.
That's true.
And when it's not fun for everybody, it's really not that fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Go ahead.
Just good satire and good humor is really hard to accomplish, and I think when things are as bad as they are right now, it's hard to do that. And I think I respect them for saying, hey, this is not something we can really poke fun at because it's very extreme and it's very real.
Yeah.
And there's not really a good angle you can take here. And I think that's a good thing to say. It's like, maybe this is not the thing you make jokes about.
Yeah. So I agree with you that Rockstar is great at satire. And here's the thing, is that in order for satire to be really effective, there has to be some level of subtlety or nuance to it.
True.
And right now, there's nothing subtle or nuanced about what's happening. So what satire becomes at that point is just cartoonish slapstick.
Mm-hmm.
So there were times in GTA 5 and even in GTA 4 where things were like a little too on the nose, and it was like, all right, that's pushing it, you know? I think that line, if not blurred, is just completely removed in a GTA 6 that releases in these times.
Yeah.
I think there isn't enough depth or again, nuance to the situations going on right now that warrant satire. It's just bold-faced out there for everyone to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think comedy needs to appeal to everyone. I think comedy inherently can't appeal to everyone.
And that's the thing, is like you have to take a side on stuff. Like,
so
it's political. You can't just say, well, we can appeal to everybody.
I totally understand what he means by, can you imagine the controversy that would be courted by a GTA 5 that both skewers conservative politicalism and liberal politicalism, like right now, like with you know what he was saying, how militant it is. That is not something that I think. Obviously, GTA 6 would be fine. Like they would sell.
Sells, yeah.
Mm.
It would do well. It would do fine.
Yeah.
But the amount of heat it would get and the amount of blowback it would get from everybody, because you can't make comedy that appeals to everyone. I mean, I'm sure there's an example out there, maybe the Peanuts cartoons or Archie, I don't know. But like if you're making something like this, you can't appeal to both sides. Yeah. And so
I mean,
I think
if anyone could, they probably could. But yeah, I'm glad he took this stance also, Brandon.
Yeah, I think we've talked a little bit about this before, but I think it's fair to say that, I mean, realistically, we will not see Grand Theft Auto 6 for probably another 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So when did 5 launch? Do you know?
2013, 5 years ago.
So
I think we were going to go 10 years between Grand Theft Auto games. I mean, they've continued to support and evolve Grand Theft Auto Online. I don't want to discount that to just say that
it's huge.
That it was 5 years ago and we've seen nothing from Grand Theft Auto since. I don't want to say that, but as far as a mainline GTA release, like Rockstar Studios are a global group now.
Mm-hmm.
They all work on one thing. Even you got North and San Diego seemingly led Red Dead Redemption 2, and North always leads GTA.
Mm-hmm.
But then all the other studios support that, and so my expectation is their next project will be Grand Theft Auto, but they're probably, again, as a collective worldwide studio group, not going to be starting on it until now, basically. They'll have the Red Dead Online team that will work there, but like I got to figure, like GTA 6, for all intents and purposes, will start on January 4th, 2019, when they all come back from a holiday break.
A much needed vacation.
Hopefully.
And we probably won't see it for 5 years. That's again, this is purely my own speculation based on, how Rockstar appears to be structured and how they work now. But yeah, it's going to be a while. So whatever GTA 6 is, I guess it will comment on, 2022, whatever the world looks like in about 4 years, 5 years from now.
Here's the thing. They also modernized GTA 5 for PC and modern consoles. So we have this phenomenal game that's all updated, 4K support and all that stuff. And just play GTA 5 for now in the interim while we're waiting for 6. So we have GTA 5, we have Red Dead. So like if Red Dead's not your thing, you still got 5, you still got the PC community if you're playing on that platform with all the crazy mods. Like if you're a more advanced player looking for messing with your files and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I wonder. There's tons to do.
I wonder if if GTA and Red Dead are going to kind of end up sort of like Elder Scrolls and Fallout, where
Oh.
they're
Definitely have that
two
feeling.
kind of similar type games made by the same developer, but
Different
people
audiences.
tend to like sort of really gravitate more towards one or the other. Not that they like love one and hate the other, but like for me, I play Fallout, I like Fallout, but I'm an Elder Scrolls
Okay.
fan myself.
Yeah.
And I'm
Let's
sort
not
of
talk
wondering.
about Fallout.
I'm a Fallout person.
See, like I wonder if we'll sort of see that with Rockstar, where it's like some people like just love Red Dead and they like GTA, but other people just love the faster pace and more density of GTA.
Yeah,
and
I'm a
only kinda
Fallout
like,
guy
yeah.
for sure.
So there you go.
Yeah.
But I'm a GTA and Red Dead guy. Like I like
Yeah,
both equally.
I kind of felt like that. I think there's room for both. Weirdly, like when I got my hands on Red Dead, I didn't feel like, oh, I just need to go back to GTA immediately. Whereas when I started playing Elder Scrolls, I was like, no, I need to play Fallout. Like, why am I playing this? Because I felt so similar. Whereas these still feel like they have their own identity,
For sure.
and not just in speed, but just how they play and the complexity of Red Dead 2. I think is what's keeping me there, and not feeling like, well, I should just be playing GTA.
Yeah.
So are we Fallout friends and you two are Skyrim
I
bros?
think that's how it's
I think
breaking
that's
down.
wow.
How we're doing this.
All right.
Even split.
All right.
Do it.
Let's go.
All right,
Yeah.
Channel 4 News team. All right.
Yeah, I mean they're both ice cream, right? But one's chocolate, one's vanilla, I think. So like GTA and Red Dead are effectively not the same platform, but they're very similar. They're two different flavors, right? Whereas you have the fantasy or the post-apocalypse.
Doesn't like this. I like where you're going. With
I'm
this.
much. I'm
Dustin's
much
like, is it lunchtime?
I'm much more of a,
I like
think
ice cream.
I think I'm hungry. I'm much more of a fantasy guy than a post-apocalypse guy. So I mean, I feel like Bethesda's series are closer together than
Yeah.
GTA
I think
and
Yeah,
that's
Red
fair.
Dead are.
that's
Yeah.
what I was getting at too.
Hopefully Starfield will maybe veer
yeah,
off a little
Starfield.
farther away.
My interest is
Almost
peaked.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
still a ways off.
Wow.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Next generation game.
I hope it's more than just Elder Scrolls or Fallout in space.
As
know.
do I.
Yeah.
As do I. All right, let's move on here. Good news if you also like to play games on PC, Xbox Game Pass is on its way to PC. Game Informer, our friends over there reporting via Windows Central, hat tip to both. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella mentioned it on a conference call for Microsoft's 2019 Q1. You know, that's how their calendar, their year is set up fiscally. They mentioned it, that the Game Pass will be on its way to PC. So this isn't a surprise, I don't
Right.
think, given the clear direction that Microsoft has been taking. But nevertheless, this is great news. I think this is just fits right in with xCloud and just everything else. Microsoft's
it-
whole Play Anywhere
It's
kind of
all
initiative.
coming together.
Yeah.
So it's
Exactly.
not on PC already? Because like if I have Forza, I can play that on PC if I have Game Pass, right?
So
Or is it? I haven't tried it out yet.
yeah, essentially.
Well, that's a Play Anywhere. I don't know if
Yeah.
you can do that through Game Pass. If you buy it,
Yeah.
it's Play Anywhere.
Okay.
But I don't know if if it's Game Pass. If you just have Forza through Game Pass, you can. Do
I'm
it on
pretty sure it works
I think
because I
it
did
is
those
too.
benchmarks, but
Well,
I
maybe
was
maybe
using
those
the
first
Ed's
party,
account.
but now all of Game Pass will do that.
Okay, so what PC games can we look forward to with this edition? Is what I'm curious about.
Well, I guess run down the list and see what's.
You've got Gears of War Tactics coming out.
PC only.
Yes.
So as far as we know.
Okay. Okay.
Gears
All right,
of War
good start.
Tactics is not
That's
Good
okay.
start.
It's not the actual name, is it?
Yeah.
No, it's
Gears Tactics.
Gears
Tactics.
Tactics. Okay,
Yeah. Remember the of War is gone now.
that's right. It's just Gears.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I'm just wondering, like, if the Xbox thing does work, where I have it on Game Pass on my Xbox and I'm able to play Forza on my PC. You know what? I could be totally wrong, so I'm just gonna go try
just
it
go check
out.
this after the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because just guessing right now, I'm just gonna get a lot of mean comments.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess if that were the case, then you would need an Xbox to get a game on Game Pass that you can then play anywhere on your PC.
Ah, there you go.
And now
Yeah.
you don't need the Xbox.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I believe that's sort of the difference there.
Just catering to all audiences.
It's an ecosystem, man. Like
Mhm.
it might sound scary and doom and gloom that Microsoft isn't banking on the Xbox to be their console, right? They're creating an ecosystem with multiple platforms.
They're making Steam.
Like since Play Anywhere, Microsoft has been a two-platform developer and publisher. So it doesn't necessarily need to rely on the Xbox the way that Sony, relies on the PS4 for their, to distribute their software. So
You're right on the money. We got Steam, we got EA Origin, we got Uplay, and now we have the Xbox platform.
oh, there's so many more than that though.
But those are the big guys, right?
Yeah.
That I can think of off the top of my head anyway.
Yeah.
Bethesda's getting in the market now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they're launching Fallout PC and Bethesda's weird thing.
Yeah.
Battle.net.
BattleNet. Yeah, that's another one.
Been around for a while there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Play
Yeah,
more
the future.
places to play Xbox games. Battlefield 5, the Firestorm mode, their battle royale, will not be out until March. EA releasing a roadmap of content for Battlefield 5, and we are looking at March now for that mode, which is probably going to be disappointing to some fans. I mean, the game was delayed from actually now. It was supposed to be out now until it's coming out November 20th, I believe, is the date. And so I think a lot of fans had hoped, oh, well, hopefully Firestorm will launch just with the game then, in that case. But that is not going to be how it goes. The wait will be until March.
I think that's
for
really
Firestorm
smart.
mode.
And whether or not it was a marketing thing or a development issue, or not issue, but a development decision to delay to March for their battle royale, it can only help them essentially. Because
I'm curious to hear you explain that, yeah, because I actually sort of see it potentially the other way. Maybe I'm just an inherent pessimist. I don't know. But
I think battle royale games are really the most, outside of maybe MOBAs and MMOs, are the most community-driven genres in gaming right now, and they're driven a lot by word of mouth, the streaming scene, and the YouTube scene as well. So I think that with Blackout literally just coming out last month. Wait, it's still
last 2 weeks ago.
It's still October. Oh my God.
Yeah.
This year is never going to end.
Tell me about it.
With Blackout just coming out, people are still really amped on that,
And everyone's talking about it.
there'll eventually be another Fortnite season or two before what is this, Firestorm?
yeah.
Before that comes out as well. So giving these battle royale modes a chance to breathe so that the player base is ready for something new when it comes out, I think it doesn't hurt EA at all, and I think it could only help their mode.
March is good. I think it's a little far out to be that far distanced. Maybe they're hoping that increases that quarter's sales for EA. That's probably a potential reasoning or a thought process going on there because it's coming out March.
But it's part of it's just part of their package of a game they're going to start selling this quarter.
Yeah, but there'll be a renewed interest when
That's
that
true.
mode comes out, so it'll bolster the sales and hopefully Battlefield 5 does well.
It'll help digital sales in Q1 for sure.
Yeah, and then Internet Brain is definitely focused on Blackout right now for Battle Royale, and of course Fortnite still has that huge market share, and PUBG's trudging along. They're doing okay. They have a lot of work though to compete with this. Blackout's basically being called refined PUBG by us.
There was that story that came out that it's really eating into PUBG's market share essentially. Or community share, I guess.
I haven't read that, but I should. I'll check it out.
It was like Blackout came out, and there were more user migrations from PUBG than there were from Fortnite.
Oh wow!
So it's like
that makes a lot of sense, though. I think when you look at the similarities between those, more people.
It's an
who play
easier
PUBG
jump.
would
Yeah.
go to Blackout
Yeah.
versus the cartooniness and everything that Fortnite is, which is also free. So.
How long until Fortnite just literally gives you money for playing their game? They're giving away. They have all these tournaments going on, and they're just like, they're just going to give away $1 million. Yeah, it's happening regularly.
I guess
no, it's like every quarter they've been giving away a ton of money.
Yeah.
My devil's advocate argument to this would be, what if waiting till March just gives Blackout time to completely cement itself in the community, and people are like, I have a community, I love this game, I don't want to pay $60 to jump over to another one.
that's not how it works though for battle royale games. I mean,
There'll be fatigue.
Fortnite being the obvious exception because they do have seasons. There's fatigue like Destin said, there's fatigue in battle royale games where your audience wants to see you jump on the next new hot thing.
That's not saying that Treyarch can't keep up with that. Like they can definitely keep developing and.
Oh,
adding
of
updates,
course.
'cause
Not
as
implying that they
are.
won't.
I totally
Yeah.
agree, but like you're on a track that ends when the next Call of Duty comes out potentially. So like
Sure, we've talked about that at length before. That's potentially a huge issue for Blackout, But at the same time, I do agree that there could be the issue of like people getting latched onto this one and like being comfortable here, and then maybe trying Firestorm. But if it doesn't really instantly click, then they could just bounce back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Firestorm and the Battlefield world is different than Call of Duty. It's a more realist.
Right, the pacing's super different. I
Yes,
think
the
that's the
pacing's
thing that
different.
intrigues me most about Firestorm is because the time to kill and stuff and just everything with between Call of Duty and Battlefield is so different.
Yeah.
And I think that's again going to be one of those big defining factors that changes between
A
players.
nuanced thing for sure. Yeah, like some people like how much faster Fortnite is than PUBG to a degree, you know, and I think you're going to see shades of that as well. But everybody who streams Battle Royale games is going to check out Firestorm when it comes out in March.
Dr. Disrespect will be playing it again. He's played all the betas and
Ninja will jump in,
Yeah.
Shroud will jump in. Like no matter
been doing cover.
whether or not you like the faster pace of Blackout or sort of whatever Firestorm ends up being, everyone's going to check it out. And those games live or die based on the community and word of mouth. So giving that extra space to allow that fatigue and that staleness to set in with Blackout or Fortnite if it's between seasons, I mean that's only going to make it's only going to create more interest for Firestorm next year.
The marketing department of all those companies are talking to all the big streamers. They will be streaming those games.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, what I'm trying to think of, like what game is service game that isn't Battle Royale could potentially cannibalize some of that.
In March?
Anthem, maybe.
Anthem's
Anthem's
January, right?
No, it's
It's
the back end of February.
Isn't it February 22nd?
It's February.
It is
22nd.
right.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like,
like
the
the-
headliner on February 22nd at the game festival that is February 22nd.
Well,
It's just a
they're
different
starting to move
crowd.
games off that date now. which
I don't
is
think
nice.
Anthem's like an adrenaline pumping game
I
the way
totally
that
agree.
Battle Royales are. So it's a different crowd. I don't think they'll cannibalize one another.
I totally agree, especially because there's no PvP in that game right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Or announced. But I do think that, you know, new content is new content, and the streaming community and the YouTube community is going to pick up Anthem at least for a while. But
Yeah.
when Firestorm comes out, they're going to jump over there.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye out for that in March. A few other just quick things this week. Shout out Alan Wake will be back on the for sale on the Xbox Marketplace soon. It's backwards compatible. It's already returned on Steam. They had a music licensing issue that caused it to be not available for sale anymore. It's back.
Do you know what license it was?
Yeah, what song
I don't
was it?
remember off the top of my head, but
Ice Ice Baby's in the game, isn't it?
Yeah.
it made me happy that Alan Wake will be available for everyone again. This is I'm glad Alana's not here to argue with me that it's not a good game, because it is a great game, and I encourage everybody to play it. You know, it's a good long single player game too. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a good 15 to 20 hour game.
Spooky.
It is not
For those
short.
logs.
Yeah, and it's so well paced. The atmosphere is so good.
Spooky
The
jump.
story
If you're
is
watching
great.
the video. But
Yeah, I haven't actually looked at Alan Wake gameplay footage in years, so this is pretty spooky.
It's a Halloween episode.
You're not
everybody.
helping the audio
I wear a
listeners right
Halloween
now.
skirt.
Oh,
I made
nice.
a comment about my
Okay,
skirt.
I'll
That's how people
narrate.
say it.
Somebody just swung at Alan. He dodged.
The shadowy.
Anyway, no, we just
It's very blurry.
love Alan Wake. It's probably it is possibly the cult classiciest game in the first party Xbox library. It might hold that title. So always love to give it some love whenever possible, and this is a good opportunity to do it.
It
with
still looks good, man.
Good
It
time
does
to do,
actually.
too.
It holds up. It's holding up really well as we watch some video of it here. From the fact that it was, almost 10 years ago, I guess, right around there. So go if you've never played it, you'll be able to buy it once again on the Xbox store, the digital storefront, very soon, probably for pretty cheap. It's super cheap on Steam right now, so hopefully when it gets back to Xbox, it'll also be relatively low cost. Jump Force, that game's probably going to be a big deal in the fighting game community. I'm the wrong guy to ask about Jump Force.
Miranda.
I'm really excited that Rukia's in it and Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
That's gonna be cool. The art looks real weird. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know. We'll see how it plays.
I like Goku. He's in there.
He's in that game.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know any.
Can you name another character?
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Anyway,
That's for Kaiba.
The guy
Private,
with the
not for
straw hat and the red shirt.
His name's Luffy.
Luffy.
Anyway.
Frieza.
Naruto.
Oh God. Let's keep moving.
Bleach.
February 15th, it's out.
You're killing me.
Attack on Titan Man.
Check it out then if you're interested. And also,
Cowboy Bebop.
on the release date
Princess
front,
Mononoke.
Team Sonic Racing, the Sonic Mario Kart clone, is out May 21st. So that's a ways out. So you've got some time to save up your money for it.
I don't even
Team
know what you're
Sonic
saying right
Racing.
now. I'm still laughing.
It's fine.
We're just lambasting anime. It's
Avatar.
not fair at all.
And finally,
Tired? How could you guys?
this week, Games with Gold for November got announced right before we recorded for once instead of right after. Thanks,
Yay.
Microsoft.
Yay.
Every time.
And here they
for
are.
us.
The Games with Gold for November. You've got Battlefield 1, November 1st to 30th.
That is awesome.
It's what a coincidence. I can't imagine that was planned at all.
Probably not.
It was planned. Battlefield 1, all month long. Race the Sun.
So this looks cool, but I have no idea what it is.
Nor do I.
I've
It's
never heard of it.
November 16th through December 15th. So now's your chance to just download it and give it a try.
Oh,
for free.
I always do.
The original Assassin's Creed, Destin.
And I am happy about this because I don't need to take out my disc anymore when I need to play the game.
That is November 1st to the 15th. That's a backwards compatible 360
So
title.
I actually thought this was a mistake. I thought it was Assassin's Creed : and then I was like, oh, he forgot to put what game it is.
Brotherhood.
Assassin's Creed November.
Not realizing that it's the original Assassin's Creed.
There you go.
was
And
I'm excited about this one.
talking about cult classics, Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
It's good.
November 16th to the 30th.
So this game
it's
gets
God
a
of War.
lot of hate, and I don't totally understand it because yeah, it's cheesy and a little over the top. But like the level design in that game is fantastic. Like, walking through the different layers of hell, they're all thematic.
It's a Devil May Cry type game,
Esque.
right?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fair to say.
Yeah, it feels like this was their take on God of War, Devil May Cry, back before God of War was what it is now. But the level design in that game is fantastic. Like you're walking through Greed, like you walk through levels based on
The Circles of Hell.
7 deadly sins and the different circles of hell. The one through Greed, like the walls are molten gold, and the one of Lust is like there's just a bunch of boobies on the
Wieners?
wall and
Oh,
wieners
worse.
and yeah.
It's just
There might be a wiener.
wieners.
Just
if
boobs,
that's
though?
wieners. Wait,
If you have an aversion to dongs, do not play through to the end of the game.
a dong version.
This is your dong warning.
The final boss.
The end of the game has a very prominent dong. Dong.
It's the final dong down.
Yes, it is a dong off for sure. If you've seen,
I finished
Ding,
the game.
when you beat the game, do you just sit on your couch and go ding dong, the dong is dead?
yeah, you do. It's actually required.
You got to do
There's
it.
an achievement called Ding Dong. The Dong is. It's not true. Yeah.
Well, now
So
there should be.
Just heads up. Some light nudity
Phrasing.
and a big old dong.
Light nudity.
Come on,
Not
man.
accurate.
Well, when you're going to hell, what do you expect?
God damn it.
I'm really
Anyway.
glad only you heard.
Yeah.
Thank you for enlightening us on Dante's Inferno.
You're welcome. Great
Yeah.
game.
Excited to play that one.
Not. Dong out of
You
10.
could say it's a good game to dick around with.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah. It's not too hard, but sometimes you feel like you get the shaft.
Okay. How about
All right, bye,
something
everybody.
And we're all set with the news for this week. We did it, you guys. Quickly, the loot box, our random segment. You never know what you're going to get, such as that last the last 5
I
minutes
think that
of
should
this
have been the loot
podcast.
box.
Probably not a
Probably. What's in the box?
Don't look.
Oh man.
Unless you really want to. You
Dong in a
can't.
box.
I can't remember the last time we were this appropriate, but I think it was the inside sex toy
Oh,
that,
Oh,
we,
yeah, we had some good
that
stuff.
we still don't know if it.
We're supposed to get it. I believe it's due out in
We're getting
April.
it?
Yeah, he bought one.
With company money, I'd like to point
That
out.
doesn't make it better.
Yeah, it does. It's not. I didn't buy it myself. It's $400.
Did Pear sign up on this?
Yes, he did.
Oh, good.
I
Why?
specifically got pre-approval.
At least we can pass it
We gotta
pass the
show
buck
us
up the chain.
box. It's weird.
So it'll be here when it's available.
Great.
And we'll see what it is. We'll see what the deal is on that.
It's a big fleshy.
Tune in to Unlocked in 2019 for fun and surprises.
Don't
Actually-
say it like that. Don't say it like that.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be weird.
Right?
Yeah,
It'll be
it's
totally
so weird.
Super duper weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway.
So
Can't wait.
our loot box this week, taking a random, turns out anonymous question. The person didn't sign off their name and their email. So just to,
It's anonymous.
it's an evergreen kind of question, but it's still fun. We'll just go around real quick. Favorite game of all time, guys. Just people like to kind of get to know where we
Yeah.
come from, what our gaming history is. Can you pick one?
Oh, number
Destin?
one?
I can't pick one. I can name a few.
Yeah.
Fallout 3, Super Mario RPG, A Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo. Yeah, Mass Effect, of course, is on that list.
Which one are you? Which Mass Effect are you again?
The original,
One.
the first one.
Yeah,
I really like
you're-
the story of Saren,
It's correct answer.
Shepard.
Yes.
And it's one of the best stories they've told, I think, in the Mass Effect universe. And yeah, so those are a few off the top of my head that are my
Desert
favorites.
Island, one game. That's all you can play. You're stuck there for the rest of your life. What's it going to be?
Something with online so I can get help.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
That's such a good answer.
Destiny 2, so I can be
Hello?
like, please help me. Guys at IGN, I know you're playing Brian Malkowitz.
Hello, Pwnemaster 42. Are you there? Can you hear me? I
Get
need
Brian
your help.
Malkowitz.
Shut up.
I know he's on his laptop.
You're gonna get a squeaker on the other end. It's just gonna
Bong
berate
Ripper
you.
420, I need your help.
Yeah.
I am trapped on a desert island with an Xbox One X and a copy of Destiny 2 and nothing else.
Was Desert Island game something huge like a GTA or a Red Dead or
Yeah.
a Fallout 3, something like that? But I can't pick one.
I know mine.
Yeah.
Miranda, go ahead.
Well, I know my favorite and my Desert
Okay,
Island
good.
game. So my favorite game is Undertale. But if I'm gonna
Interesting.
that's my number one. But if I can list off things, it's gonna have I think Halo Combat Evolved. I think I just
Oh.
it's between that or Halo 3, and it's just really hard for me.
Yeah.
So I think Combat Evolved and Dota 2, the Mass Effect trilogy. I'm not picking
Oh,
one.
cheating.
They are
Cop
a
out.
bundle. If I had to pick one, it's gonna be Mass Effect 3.
Disappointed.
Mass Effect 3 is your favorite?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you
That's
go.
weird. It's not
Yeah.
not a common pick.
Yeah.
Then I also love Modern Warfare 2 and BioShock.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Brandon, what do you say?
Mine's a weird one. It's not many people know of it. My favorite game of all time is Ogre Battle: March of the Black Queen. Yeah.
Okay.
I looked,
Just crickets in the
I looked
room.
that up some. I feel like I've heard that before, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's funny when my first day.
Is that a
here-
strategy game?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
thought
My
so.
my first day at IGN, Sam Claiborne, managing editor, then was like, well, "All right, what's your favorite game?" Like he does for everyone when they start. And the entire content pit was looking at me, and I'm like, "Oh, it's Ogre Battle: March of the Black Queen," and everyone's just like, "Ah, okay."
We've made a
Except-
terrible decision.
except for Jared Petty. And
No,
Jared
that's who told me about it.
Jared Petty was like, "Oh yeah, I love that game." That's not Jared's voice, but that game is great.
Can it be his voice?
It's a strategy game, but it's also a fantasy game, and there's so many variables and different avenues you can take. Like total characters you never meet. You unlock islands by talking to a monk on this tiny temple on this island at exactly at midnight on this day of the month. So there's a lot of cool little secrets and fantasy stuff. And that game, for me personally, came along at like a rough patch in my childhood, and so I was able to pour myself into that
Yeah.
game.
Oh,
And so
so-
over 2 summers, that game will forever be like what got me through that period.
So
of
is that your Desert Island game as well, you think?
I don't know. I don't know because I've played it so many times. I've forgotten a lot of it now.
Yeah.
But so maybe some of it would be new. But like I also love the old Square by Square. Like Eye of the Beholder for the SNES was one of my other favorite. It's like an old D&D game.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. I don't know if I'd go retro or new. Like I want something with a lot of replayability.
Yeah.
Well, Desert Island's weird because like if I were to pick one, it'd just be The Sims. Probably 2. Like, cause it
Can't be- yeah, you can't argue with
all
that.
Just-
with all expansions,
Right.
Everything.
That's fair.
It'd be fine.
That's fair.
Be
We'll
good
allow
forever.
that. Yeah, for me, I mean, it's same thing. Like, I just could never pick one game. Like I've been.
Man, you
yeah.
guys are all full of
Well, but I've been
cop-outs
gaming
here.
for so.
It's really hard. No, it's really hard until you find like that
pick
one that just
one.
you just clicks with you. Like
I mean,
that
there are.
Solitaire.
Yeah, for me, there are the. I would just say like. In some way or another, I don't, I mean this within the context of video games, but like life-changing games that
Yeah.
just like paradigm shift kind of thing.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, Super Mario Brothers 3 was that.
Yeah.
The original Doom was that, and I still love both of those games.
Could you play that for the rest of your life, though, is the question.
Well, that's not necessarily what your favorite game is, though.
No, a Desert Island game.
Sure,
Yeah, I haven't
but we're
gotten
talking
there
about
yet.
favorite.
Yeah. Halo 2, because if I could, if heaven ends up being like you just get to live in the perfect moment
I'm with
forever.
you. I love this analogy. Come on, give
like
it to me.
if that then I could just be in that moment where everyone's playing Halo 2.
Oh,
and I'm just playing, and it's just like it's the thing. Like basically, it's fall of 2004. It's
Yeah.
November, December 2004. That would be great because then I would actually no because we need the expansion, the map pack. So maybe it has to be like fall of 2005. At that point,
Heaven is a very specific date and time.
well, give me a break.
Fine.
Because those maps, those extra 11 maps, were so good.
What was that construction map in Halo 2? The one with like the high rise in the center.
Dang it!
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, you're putting.
Yes.
It's right in there somewhere.
Construction zone or whatever.
No, I know what you're talking about.
My favorite, my heaven moment in Halo 2 would be that map when I'm in the Banshee on One Flag CTF.
Yeah, that's so. Halo 2 and same thing with like going back and to live in the moment of time. With it would probably be Rock Band 2, just because that's what. Yeah, like just that pocket of time. But yeah, like Desert Island. And actually, I would say GTA 3 and 5 are both on the list for me. I like those specific GTAs the most, but. Yeah, I actually think Doom 1 would probably be the Desert Island game. Like
you could replay that over and over.
The campaign itself, but then Deathmatch too. Like Deathmatch is so good.
You don't have an internet connection on a desert island.
He got one.
Okay, yeah, that's an oversight on
I'm
our
not
part.
even. Hey, actually, I don't even need an internet connection. It's just modem. It's just a peer-to-peer modem connection.
Oh.
What world are you
internet.
stuck on a desert island with an Ethernet cable though?
You know what? I'm done talking to you.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to think practically here.
Well, that's all out the window.
Yeah.
So that's all our cop-out answers, everybody.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I gave real answers.
Fair.
You gave
cop-out
3 video
answers.
games.
So I gave my number 1. Then I said because Destin got to do a list, I'm just gonna list off a few other things I love.
there
It's
we did
really
it.
hard.
If you have
We all need to
suggestions,
talk after this.
yeah, I know.
Okay.
We'll our
Narrow
Group
down the
therapy.
rules.
I don't know.
here.
The wilderness is calling me.
Yeah.
yeah, it's if you have an idea for loot box, like a question you want to ask
I
us
really
or
like
a
this
topic,
question.
yeah, just send it in unlocked@ign.com. And now, real quick, trivia because we're about out of time. David from Tempe, Arizona, his gamer tag is Naughty Zoot. Shout out Tempe, Arizona. That's where I went to college. Sun Devils represent. David asks, in 2003, LucasArts put out a third-person shooter by the name of Armed and Dangerous. It's a pretty well-liked game for the original Xbox. In that game, the player is armed with a wide array of completely absurd weapons. Which of these items was not in the game? So 3 of these were. Was there a miniature black hole gun, a gun that shoots land sharks, a flatulence bomb, or a device that reverses gravity? What is the fake item on that list? Destin thinks he knows it, so I want to go Brandon's way first. Okay, Miranda's way first.
I don't know.
I have 0 clue. I'm gonna go with B.
Okay, gun that shoots land sharks. Brandon, you're next.
Damn it. Okay, I have no idea either, so I'm going to narrow down based on parameters that I think would apply, which is 2003. I feel like reversing gravity in a video game might be more difficult than the flatulence bomb, the black hole, or the land shark. So I'm going to go D. Final answer.
It's an interesting strategy on that.
Okay,
Destin?
they're both wrong. The land shark gun was first introduced in Armed and Dangerous, actually.
That was real.
And it came back
Wow.
later in Saints Row as like a downloadable add-on
First of
weapon
all,
that you
I don't
could
like
get.
your
I was
attitude.
like, I don't think they could actually come out because I was worried. I was like, well, could they just keep producing all the sharks? Like, would that be too taxing? But I don't really know.
Yeah, I guess they were low
Crazy.
poly or something, but it was a really, really cool weapon implemented in that game. The device that reverses gravity that was in the game, you would put something in the ground, it would turn the whole world upside down, then all the players would fall off the map. It was really, really unique. Now, what I'm struggling with is I don't remember if the one not in the game was the mini black hole or the flatulence bomb. The flatulence bomb seems a little too on the nose.
I don't know, because the word absurd tells me
Yeah,
flatulence
so
is
But
on
they
the
had-
table.
I'm leaning. It's either
Land
A or
shark zone.
C, and I just can't remember which one I didn't use. Like, were there fart sound effects in the game? Because it was really goofy in nature.
Yeah, I think fart bomb's probably on the table, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are goading me towards A.
Although
That's what I was
we've
gonna pick
we've seen
originally.
black holes in video games, like
And then-
Yeah.
hole
So
weapons.
I'm gonna go A, Ryan.
Hey Ryan,
Nah, it was the flatulence.
It was
bomb.
the
That was
flat.
not
It's
in
too on the
there.
nose, right?
Phrasing.
I'm just kidding.
So
You tricked me.
I had no
Oh,
idea.
no.
David from Tempe, Arizona, stumped the panel Very well done, David. I don't have to
Nice.
make any changes.
Never
to this.
listening to my
Nicely
co-host.
done, David.
So we've got Brandon at 11, has narrowly surpassed the Ghost of Alana at 10. Miranda still technically in the game at 7. I want to see you make a
Woo.
run here.
I have to be on the show more often.
Yes, that would be
That'll
good.
help.
That would be good. If you want to try and stump everybody, send your Xbox trivia question, including 4 multiple choice answers, and note the correct one in your email. Send that to unlocked@ign.com, and we'll play next week. We've got, I don't know, 6, 7 more shows, something like that.
8 minus Christmas week.
Something like that.
7.
So, yeah.
6 or 7.
We're getting there.
Thank you, David, for bringing up a phenomenal game with a lot of interesting weaponry. I used to do the series The Armory, and Armed and Dangerous was like 3 of the weapons were on my list because it was really, really interesting from what LucasArts was able to do with that property.
Yeah, it's a good game.
What was the list? Just like coolest weapons?
I did a 100-episode series about cool weapons in video games.
That's
Nice.
Yeah, it was
an
called The
undertaking.
Armory.
That's cool.
Wow.
Cerebral bore.
That was number 5 or something that I did, yeah.
Sorry, I know you're trying to wrap it up.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Let's end this charade and go back to 1899.
Yep.
And have a serious talk about what Desert Island means.
You can find me on Twitter at DMC_Ryan. If you also play Nintendo Switch, I just reviewed Diablo 3 for Switch. It's called the Diablo 3 Eternal Collection, which is basically it's just Diablo 3 with everything that's ever been added to it. Turned out really good. The game's still great.
Does that package come with Rise of the Necromancer?
Yes.
Oh,
it's
perfect.
everything
Okay.
that's ever been released for Diablo 3, and now you can play it wherever you want. So check out my review on IGN for that. Destin.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter at Destin Legary, and you can watch me on Fireteam Chat every Friday at 5 p.m. Bam! I'm out, internet.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, headphone wearers.
Went both. Yes, yeah.
Someone too loud.
Someone at
Surprised
home
me.
is calling the emergency room right now with 2 ruptured eardrums. You can find me on Twitter at Brandon Tyrell, just my name. That's where I go and sometimes tweet.
Fantastic. Miranda, take us home.
Ooh, you can find me at Havoc Rose, on Havoc with a K, pretty much anywhere, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you're looking. Yes, please just check out the Red Dead Wiki. That's our massive undertaking. Put so much time into it. So if we're missing something, let us know, and I'd really appreciate it.
Fantastic. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Dong.
Are you kidding me?